If I were him, I would not have allowed myself to become a witness kasi I will just suffer humiliation as what he is suffering coming from a very young lawyer. Kasi yung si Atty. Matibag ay 29 years in practice as a lawyer. Pero yung parang nag-demolish sa kanyang testimony at saka nag-expose sa kanya to humiliation ay isang rookie, bata ang bata, parang anak lang niya na lawyer na si Atty. Martin Luan. So, it was really a humiliating experience sa kanyang buhay, lalo na bilang NBI director at saka isang lawyer. Start the ball rolling.
Okay, unahin muna natin ha. Doon po sa mga pahayag ni NBI Director Matibag, nakita nyo ba yung pagiging, kung pagbabasehan natin yung kanyang pahayag sa investigasyon niya dito sa sinasabing may grave threat na nagawa ang pangalawang Pangulo, yung tamang klase ng pag-iimbestiga na talagang independent, kasi pinagmamalaki niya ito na independent talaga, na umayon sa tamang proseso at hindi selective, attorney. Kung pagbabatayin natin yung kanyang testimonya, mga at least 2 araw
I go by with the observation of many or a lot of Filipinos who observe the appearance and the testimony of NBI Director Melvin Matibag. He is really not representing independence. Na ipakita na his wife is one of the endorsers, and then he was not even the director of the NBI at the time of the alleged or of the time of the utterances made by the Vice President. So, wala siyang personal knowledge as was clearly established during the cross-examination. Wala siyang personal knowledge at saka yung mga sinasabi niya ay lahat ay speculation lamang. So, in effect, instead na sabi nila may ipapalabas na parang bomba o parang pasabog, naging quites yun . So, it did not help at all in any manner to the cause of the prosecution for the purpose of establishing Article 4 in the impeachment complaint.
Opo, no. Banggitin ko lang po yung yung sinasabi niyo po na pagiging niya, dapat may personal knowledge siya paghaharap sa korte, no, bilang isang witness. Kasi nga sinasabi nga dito sa Rule 130 Section 22, a witness can testify only to those facts which he knows of his personal knowledge, that is which are derived from his own perception. Siya ay NBI chief. So, malamang sa malamang, wala siya doon sa mismong, yung kumbaga parang hands-on, more on supervisory siya, at yung mismong mga involved na mga pangalan na sinasabing na nagkaroon ng banta, hindi pwedeng manggaling sa kanya. Dapat mismong galing doon sa taong yon, attorney.
Exactly. So, nakakaawa yung kanyang appearance. If I were him, I would not have allowed myself to become a witness kasi I will just suffer humiliation as what he is suffering coming from a very young lawyer. Kasi yung si Atty. Matibag ay 29 years in practice as a lawyer. Pero yung parang nag-demolish sa kanyang testimony at saka nag-expose sa kanya to humiliation ay isang rookie, bata ang bata, parang anak lang niya na lawyer na si Atty. Martin Luan. So, it was really a humiliating experience sa kaniyang buhay, lalo na bilang NBI director at saka isang lawyer. Na naharap ka sa ganung klaseng court appearance na in the first place, dapat hindi siya nag-appear kasi wala talagang maitulong ng kaniyang supposed evidence. He has no personal knowledge. He was not the director of the NBI at the time of the incident. So ano bang masasabi niya? So ang masasabi niya ay parang, sabi nga ni Atty. Binloan, chismis lang. And that is not helping the cause of the prosecution. Remember, Admar, itong impeachment trial, dalawang korte ang nakikinig dito. Una, yung mga senator judges. Pero ang importante dito ang taong bayan. And the senator judges, in many instances, would follow the pulse of the people who are the ultimate judges of this political exercise like an impeachment proceedings.
Opo. Di ito naman tayo doon sa kanyang 5 points eh. Meron siyang sinasabing 5 points kung bakit ito yung nakita nila na present, kaya nabanggit nila na merong grave threat na ginawa na sinasabi pa niyang nakabase sa standard daw sa Amerika, no? Yung sabi niyang pattern of violence, gravity of and seriousness of an incident, identifying characteristic involved in the incident, capacity of the subject, motive of the personality involved. Tingin nyo itong 5, taken out of context yung pagkakaintindi niya doon sa mga pangyayari, or kanyang pinili yung tingin niya, eto bagay ito dito, pattern of violence. Eto bagay ito sa motive of personality involved, kasi pag nadali yung target niya, makikinabang siya dito, at kung ano-ano pang mga sinasabi niyang nasa 5, attorney.
So, yun, it's a very clear theoretical presentation. Ang court proceedings ay hindi theoretical, hindi speculation, kundi personal knowledge, factual, hindi theoretical. So, kasi anything can make theory. But to prove your theory with facts, it's another story. So, hindi tayo, parang hindi school na nag-aral tayo ng mga theories. Sa trial ay facts ang pinag-uusapan. So diyan, parang sablay si Director Matibag, with all due respect.
Opo. Yung una niyang, yung itong pattern of violence, attorney, may pattern na ba? Opo.
Hindi na lang tayo mapapalayo diyan. Itong mga issues na ito ay na-raise na ito sa during sa House Justice Committee hearing. Ngayon, they were addressing it to the people at large. Now, remember, their purpose is really to humiliate Vice President Sara Duterte and to ruin her reputation. Now, with this kind of incessant and relentless attacks, ilang taon na, pabalik-balik, this is not new. And yet, contrary to their expectations, Sara Duterte emerges as the most trusted, yung popularity niya mataas, at saka ngayon, lumalabas sa Pulse siya ngayon ang nangunguna sa presidential survey. So, people, in other words, people, from the very beginning until now, do not believe their narrative. So, hindi na pwedeng, wala nang lunas ito, kahit pa yung sino pa ang kanilang mga skilled at saka highly technical na mga theorists o mga analyst, hindi na makakatulong because the people have already decided that everything is for show, everything is political, everything is about Sara's, to prevent Sara from becoming president in 2028. And at this point in time, there is nothing new to their to their strategy. So, what else can we expect? I think after this, another quarter, another survey will come out. Sara Duterte will still retain her popularity. In fact, it might increase. Because alam natin, Admar, yung psyche ng Pilipinos, the more you are being beaten, the more you are being repressed, the more sympathy you will get from the people. And you cannot do that to Sara, that like what they did to BP Binay, kasi si BP Binay is different from Vice President Sara Duterte. Wala talaga, hindi sila they are not on the same level. So, if they are using the pattern and the strategy that it was employed against by BP Binay, that would not succeed the same strategy against BP Sara Duterte.
Kasi isingit ko lang kasi kasi yung ginawa nilang example daw sa pattern of violence is way back one decade, isa't kalahating dekada, 15 years ago, na doon sa pananapak, at mula doon pattern of ano na raw, violence na raw dahil doon. Pero yun nga, kanina na panood natin sa balita kung ano yung konteksto kung saan during that time na nangyari ang insidente. Ako, nandun pa ako noon na attorney sa Davao kasi nagko-cover ako kasi nagkaroon ng flash flood sa Davao. 30 plus yata, more or less 30 ang namatay dahil sa flash flood. Lagpas tao yung baha at tinutulungan, ongoing yung relief operation, tinutulungan yung maraming mga apektado. Nandun ako sa area kung saan binaha, lagpas tao talaga. Makikita mo sa mga kabahayan nila yung level ng putik, lagpas tao talaga. Tapos humiling lang siya ng at least 2 oras kasi alam ni Vice President Sara Duterte, hindi na maniniwala yung tao doon sa mga authority at baka magkasakitan lang at mas maniniwala sa kanya. Kaya humiling siya ng 2 hours na extension dahil meron pa siyang kinikater kasi ang daming namatay nung flash flood na yun. Yun yung isa sa mga grabing kalamidad na nangyari, pero tinuloy pa rin kaya nagkaroon ng kaguluhan at nangyari nga yun po, attorney. Pero ito yung tanong ko lang, attorney. Napanood mo ba yung naging viral mga 2 months ago about kay Matibag, yung sagutan nila ng isang, hindi ko lang alam kung reporter ba yon. Napanood mo ba yon, attorney, na may mga pagbabantang narinig at pagmumurang narinig mula mismo kay...
Viral yan sa social media.
So, natanong din siya nito at umamin siya doon sa emotional outburst na dahil sa kanyang bugso ng damdamin. Siya lang ba ang may karapatan na makagawa nun at walang karapatan yung ibang tao kaya nailabas yung mga kanupayag, attorney?
Kaya nga, Admar, nakakaawa sila. Kasi yung narrative nila, Admar, is really out of touch. Out of touch of reality. Nawala talaga sa realidad. Now, they are trying to make an issue of what Sara Duterte did to the sheriff. Samantala, ang realidad yan, people were clapping. People nandoon sa area na yun, Davaoenos, were happy about it kasi nakita nila yung the kind of leadership that the mayor showed to them, na leadership na talagang yung ano ba yung tawag, malasakit. That's why this brand of leadership ng Duterte, mahirap talagang tibagin. Tatak na yan sa paningin at saka yung perception ng tao. Kaya ang point ko dito, they are using an issue that would even bolster the love of the people to Vice President Sara Duterte and to the Duterte family, Duterte brand of leadership. Kasi that is what the people want. If you are making an issue, you have to make it sure na yung issue na yan ay people would be angry about it, people will condemn about it, but this is quite different. Kaya Admar, they are really out of touch of reality itong mga nag-akusa kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
Opo.
Wala talaga.
Ito
Hindi
po,
na
attorney. Dito naman po kasi witness siya. Pinagmamalaki siyang witness. Nabanggit nga doon sa first part, no? Parang obligado ba lahat ng pag nagpe-present ng witness attorney na talaga ipakilala sino siya? Dati siyang opisyal way back PGMA, PRRD, sa kasalukuyan, 29 years sa law, practice, tapos former dean, law dean. Tapos ini-establish daw nila yung credibility. Pero maituturing mo bang may credibility o may conflict of interest na yung mismong asawa niya, kongresista, kabilang sa nag-recommend or nag-endorse ng impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte sa Kamara, tapos meron pa siyang mga history na column niya sa isang pahayagan na grabe yung banat kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
Kaya nga, yung bawat panig ng kaso, yung prosecution or defense, you are entitled to the choice of your witnesses. Para sa akin, the choice of Dr. Matibag as a witness is a stupid choice. Bakit isinalang siya sa witness stand na may expose lamang yung kanyang biases at saka yung kanyang bigotry, yung parang consume anger against Vice President Sara Duterte na to destroy his credibility. So, dapat ang prosecution ay hindi sana yung klaseng witness na yan para merong impact ba. Kasi you are not only, as I said, you are not only presenting your witness to the senator judges, but the very important audience in this particular drama or political theater impeachment, the people. Ngayon, tingnan mo ang tao. Nawawala na ng parang gana, nawawala na ng interest. In fact, the people are just waiting for some memes or mga portions ng yung cross-examination na parang makakatawa, yung parang naghihintay lang ng paano maging may humor at saka parang mayroong joke na lalabas out of the political or this impeachment process. So wala nang seriousness on the part of the people to watch this impeachment. Ang hinahanap nila parang they are just enjoying whatever mistakes or stupidity that the parties may commit, especially coming from the prosecution. Kasi kawawa talaga. Yung witnesses nila ay yung si Kalilong. Bakit siya pinatestify na wala man siya sa, he was not there during the press conference. Yung isa namang NBI, yung director, wala rin. Na i-expose yung kanilang mga minamadali na mga documentations na hindi normal ba sa isang product ng isa talagang masusing investigation. Nakita dyan na parang minamadali o yung mga typographical error na sinabi na hindi naman yung typographical error. So ibig sabihin, they are not prepared witnesses. Parang they are just being presented. Parang rehearsed na lang ng mga witnesses. Parang kayo na lang ang mag-testify para to prove this article, itong Article 4. So, diyan na i-expose na yung kahinaan ng ebidensya ng prosecution at parang lalo nang hindi maibinta sa taong bayan. Kasi taong bayan talaga ang ultimate judge dito eh. Yan. Alam mo naman, tingnan mo yung mga kanila, yung how they voted. They voted on party lines. So ngayon, nakita ng mga tao, kahit anong ebidensya pa ipakita, ito talagang anti-Duterte will really vote for the conviction. Ito namang mga pro-Duterte will really vote for the acquittal. Ngayon, ang problema dito, itong mga pro-impeachment na mayroong mga political career, they have to think very carefully what repercussions it may cause to their political career if they will vote for the conviction of the Vice President, who in the eyes of the people is innocent and persecuted. Yan ang problema ngayon nitong 13 or paano ba may problema pa nga sila kung mayroon pa bang additional 3 na makukuha nila. At this time, parang wala lang numero. So, kung walang numero, ang kanilang purpose is political demolition job. Ngayon, kung tingnan natin yung political demolition angle, so far, itong survey ngayon na 59%, 59% ba yun?
Opo.
49? Oh, 59 sa preference ngayon sa presidential survey. Ibig sabihin, itong demolition job is not working against the Vice President. Because hindi man ito nag-umpisa ngayon. It started in 2023, 2024, 2025, hanggang ngayon 2026. And yet, the Vice President remains on top of the presidential preference ng mga tao.
Opo. Attorney, may agam-agam ba kayo na, kasi nababasa ko rin ito sa social media sa ibang mga nag-a-analyze din sa mga pangyayari. Kasi ginamit, walang perma, walang hindi notaryado, pero ginamit yung testimonya ni Las Cañas na ipinagmalaki pa ng prosekusyon na ginamit ng ICC ito laban sa kaso ni former President Rodrigo Duterte, no? Baka ang susunod na naman ay padala doon sa ICC, mapabilang na sa listahan, ay itong si Vice President Sara Duterte. Attorney, meron ba kayong ganyan ding agam-agam?
Kung may agam-agaman, siguro mauna pa siguro magiba yung ICC kasi sabi ni Secretary Marco Rubio, we will destroy the ICC brick by brick. I think itong kanyang trip ngayon, hindi man lang Pilipinas, kundi lahat ng mga bansa dito sa Southeast Asia is part of the campaign of the US to really not give cooperation to the ICC for those members already should withdraw from the ICC. So parang ICC now is already becoming a dead institution the way America is campaigning for its destruction.
Opo. Napag-uusapan si Las Cañas sa attorney, no? Yung para at least sa kaalaman lang na proseso, no, sa korte, attorney, kapag ginamit mo ang isang affidavit na hindi notaryado, kasi nagalit nga sila doon sa sino ba yung sa Marines sa Senado na pinuntahan pa nila yung sino daw yung nagnotaryo, ang dami nila, napaka-stricto nila noon, no, yung yung ex-Marines, no, na security daw ni dating Congressman Zaldico. Ngayon eto, napag-alaman, hindi permado, hindi notaryado, pero pinagbasihan sa testimonya. Nakakasira yan ng kredibilidad, hindi lang ng pagkatao, kundi ng buong ahensyang nire-represent, attorney.
Exactly. Kaya nga, if I were the presiding officer, I should not have allowed the presentation of that unsigned affidavit because that is a mere scrap of paper. Pero siguro dahil kasama na rin yan siguro sa script, baka makatulong sa kanilang goal at objective, which is to politically demolish the Vice President. Lahat ng basura, pwedeng itapon na kay BP Sara. Pero ang problema ngayon, if that would be if that would click to the people, one ba ito, will the people be happy about it, or it may boomerang, it will surely boomerang to their against to their wishes at saka yung objectives.
Opo. And huli na lang na topic po, attorney, dahil sa iyong karanasan na rin bilang abogado, ilang beses nang humarap sa korte.
34 years.
34 years. Oh.
34 years.
Hindi halata sa edad ha at sa mukha, attorney ha. Pero ito, binash po si Senator Robin Hood Padilla doon sa pagsasabi niya na dapat hindi bias at neutral yung mga prosecutor. No, binash siya. Sabi nga ni Luis Tro, alam nga naman na depensahan namin yung talagang dito kami sa prosecution. Hanggang sa lumitaw sa social media din, ang taong bayan rin yung tagapagtanggol, attorney ni Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Itong Canon 2, Section 31 ng Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability o CPRA of the Philippines, sabi dito, quote-unquote, "The primary duty of a public prosecutor is not to convict but to see that justice is done." At marami pang mga sinasabi yan dyan na dapat hindi siya bias sa attorney. So may punto, kahit hindi abogado si Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Ang dami ng mga nabubulsay itong si Senator Robin Hood Padilla, binabash, tapos kalaunan, tumpak pala yung kanyang mga sinasabi. Attorney?
Okay. Ang context niya, impeachment is an offense against the people. So the congressmen who are members of the House of Representatives, which under the Constitution is the body that has the sole power to initiate all cases of impeachment, meaning to say, they are acting on behalf of the grievances of the people. And in fact, when they will exercise their power to initiate, what is in their minds is the interest of the people whom they represent. Ngayon, they should not be the ones hindi silang agrabyado dito personally. Ang aggrieved party dito tao. So, ang konteksto ni Senator Robin Padilla, I think, to my mind, na before you file an impeachment complaint, before you initiate an impeachment complaint, yung initiation level pa lang doon pa lang sa House of Representatives, dapat meron ng fairness diyan at saka unbiased na treatment. Kasi tingnan natin kung talagang may basihan ba yung impeachment complaint, meron bang basis. At saka ito ba ay reflective ba ito ng kagustuhan ng taong bayan, which these congressmen represent, kasi they are representatives of the people. Ngayon, tama siya in that sense na you must be impartial in seeing to it whether there is really basis of bringing this case to the Senate for trial. Ang nakita kasi dito, it's not the people who want to impeach the Vice President. It's the congressmen. In fact, yung congressman pa nga namin dito voted no because that is what the people want. And you are representing the voice of the people. Problem dito, itong mga congressmen are not representing the voices of their constituencies. They are representing their interest. So, yan ang konteksto siguro sa ibig sabihin ni Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Malalim.
Opo. Pero ang isa pa sa actually nagpaliwanag din si number 1 senatorial candidate sa survey ngayon, si Senator Robin Hood Padilla, no. Ang sinabi pala niya din dito, dinagdag din niya na nag-ugat ito dahil nung 'di ba, nagsabi siya, attorney, na dapat yung inyong dadalhin na mga ano is walang mga kaso, 'di ba? Na sa mga witness, ganyan, walang kasing perjury, tapos pumalag yung house kasi nga hindi pa nga final, 'di ba? Hindi pa nga ano. Tapos kaya doon nabuksan kasi merong statement ang isa sa mga prosecutor sa katauhan ni dating senador, ngayon Congresswoman Leila de Lima, patungkol doon sa pagbabago ng threshold dahil nakakulong yung mga senador. Yun nga yung punto ni Senator Padilla. Hindi naman sila convicted pa eh. 'Di ba? Yung mga ganon na parang dito basta para sa inyo pwede. Pero pag sa iba hindi pwede. Parang kagaya lang sa yes or no din, attorney, na ang gustong tanong ni Senator Robin Padilla, yes or no lang ang sagot. Pero ayaw ng mismong kongresista na nagpatupad ng yes or no lang kapag siya ang nasa hearing, attorney.
Ito, Admar, dapat this should be a weekend to the reality. This is no longer the time, the era of the impeachment of President Erap Estrada, nor the time of the impeachment of Chief Justice Corona, wherein the flow of communication was controlled by the traditional media, yung dominant doon sa TV, ABS-CBN, GMA, at saka sa newspapers, itong Philippine Daily Inquirer, at saka yung Philippine Star. Ang maririnig lamang ng tao kung ano lang yung sinusulat at saka kung ano yung ina-highlight doon sa evening news. Ngayon, social media is very revolutionary in the sense that the people can really participate and can really watch the entire proceeding on real time. So hindi na ito panahon ng ma-influence yung tao through the mass media. People are already out of that yung slavery. Bago nito ngayon. There is now a social phenomenon like social media. So, dapat kalimutan nila yung approach na yan because people can really see what is unfair, what is unjust, at saka yung unequal application of the law, yung bending of the law, kitang-kita nila at ramdam na ramdam nila. Kaya, ito, nagkamali sila sa 2019 elections, tingnan mo 2019 elections. They were still using the same approach. Talo sila. Yung 8 diretso, 2022, si BBM, binipitin pa yan kay Vice President Sara Duterte, sa mga Duterte na mga followers. Hindi yung naging successful yung kanilang lumang style. Ngayon, they are still applying the same approach. I don't know saan sa pupulutin. Tingnan mo, si Senator Risa Hontiveros, ano lang kanyang rating? Less than 1. Less than 1%. Despite the exposure that has been given to her by the traditional mainstream media, yun lang kanyang nakukuha. So, samantala, si Vice President Sara Duterte, sinisiraan. Sila Robin Hood Padilla, sinisiraan. Pero bakit mahal sila ng tao? Because another source of information available to the people, accessible to the people on real time. Sila mismo ang makapag-decide. Kaya nga, iisa lang ang conclusion dito. They will still fail with their strategy. Ang tactic nila sa strategy ay tested na hindi umubra. And I am wondering why they keep on maintaining that strategy. It has not worked, it did not work, and it will not work again.
Attorney, daghang salamat sa imong oras ug higayon, and once again belated happy 21st belated 21st birthday.
Thank you very much, Admar. It's an honor to be invited in your program.